Most people spend their entire lives trapped in a game they do not even realize they are playing. We wake up, we drink our coffee. We rush to jobs we tolerate to pay for cars that get us to those jobs and houses we leave empty all day. It is called the rat race, and it is designed to keep you running but never getting anywhere. Have you ever stopped to ask yourself why? Why, despite all the technological advancements and the supposed economic growth, does it feel like getting ahead is harder than ever before? Why does the cost of living keep rising while savings keep shrinking? The answer is not just bad luck. It is not just the economy. It is a system that was built this way, a system designed to create workers, not owners, a system designed to manufacture debt, not wealth. If you have ever felt a pit in your stomach, a feeling that something about the modern financial world is fundamentally broken, you are not crazy. You are waking up. Welcome to Finance Vibe. On this channel, we do not just talk about saving a few pennies, we talk about breaking the chains. We decode the secrets of the financial elite and hand you the blueprint to reclaim your freedom. Before we dismantle the lies you have been told about money, take a quick second to smash that like button and subscribe to Finance Vibe. It is free for you, but it sends a message to the algorithm that you are ready to wake up. Let's dive in. To understand how to escape the trap, you first have to see the bars of the cage. The first bar is the education system. Think back to school. You were taught algebra, history, and biology. But did anyone ever teach you how taxes work? Did anyone explain the difference between an asset and a liability? Did anyone teach you how to read a financial statement? No. And that is not an accident. The school system was designed during the Industrial Revolution to produce obedient factory workers. It was designed to create employees who follow instructions, sit still for 8 hours, and do not ask difficult questions. It was never designed to create financially independent thinkers. When you graduate, you're handed a script. Go to college, get into debt, get a job, buy a house, get into more debt. Save 10% if you are lucky, and retire when you are too old to enjoy it. That is the safe path. But in today's economy, the safe path is the most dangerous one you can take. Relying on a single source of income, your salary, is like driving a car with no spare tire on a road full of nails. One recession, one pandemic, one restructuring, and it is all over. The wealthy know this. That is why they do not work for money, they make money work for them. Let's talk about the tool they use to keep you running: debt. We live in a society that glamorizes spending. We are bombarded with thousands of ads every single day telling us that we are not enough unless we buy this new phone, drive this new car, or wear these new clothes. We buy things we don't need with money we don't have to impress people we don't even like. This is the consumer trap. When you finance a lifestyle you cannot afford, you are selling your future freedom for a moment of present pleasure. Every dollar you borrow is a claim on your future time. You have to work tomorrow to pay for what you bought yesterday. The banks love this. They love it when you pay the minimum balance on your credit card. That is their business model. They are not selling you money, they are selling you time. They are renting you a lifestyle at an exorbitant interest rate. At Finance Vibe, we believe that true luxury is not a Rolex or a Ferrari. True luxury is waking up in the morning and having absolutely nothing on your calendar that you didn't put there yourself. That is freedom. And you cannot buy freedom with a credit card. Now, let us peel back a layer that most people are terrified to look at: the money itself. What is that paper in your wallet? What are those digits on your screen? In 1971, the rules of the game changed forever when the US dollar was taken off the gold standard. Before that, money was backed by something real. After that, money became currency, backed by nothing but faith. This gave governments and central banks the power to print money out of thin air, and they have been printing it like there is no tomorrow. When they print more money, the value of the money you worked hard to save goes down. This is the hidden tax called inflation. Now they tell you inflation is 2% or 3%, but you go to the grocery store, you look at house prices, you look at tuition fees, and you know the truth. The prices are skyrocketing. This means that if you're keeping your wealth in cash, you are slowly bleeding to death financially. You are losing purchasing power every single day. The rich understand this. They know that cash is trash. They do not hoard cash. They hoard assets. They buy real estate, stocks, gold, businesses, things that rise in value when the money supply expands. If you want to win this game, you have to stop being a saver and start being an investor. You have to move your energy from a melting ice cube, cash, into solid ground, assets. This brings us to a concept that is often misunderstood: risk. The average person is terrified of investing because they think it is risky. They think the stock market is a casino. And for the uneducated, it is. But do you know what is riskier? Relying on a job that can replace you in a heartbeat. Relying on a pension system that is mathematically running out of money. Relying on a currency that is being devalued by the trillions. That is not safety. That is a ticking time bomb. The wealthy view risk differently. They view risk as the price of entry, but they manage it through education. The best investment you can ever make is not in Bitcoin or Tesla, it is in your own mind. Financial literacy is the vaccine against poverty. If you give $1 million to a person with a poor mindset, they will be broke in 5 years. We see it with lottery winners all the time. But if you take everything away from a person with a wealthy mindset, they will build it all back in 5 years. Why? Because they understand the principles. They understand how value is created. Here at Finance Vibe, our goal is to help you download that software into your brain. We want to rewire your neural pathways from consumption to creation. Let's shift gears to the psychology of money. Money is 20% math and 80% behavior. You can know all the formulas, you can know how to read a balance sheet, but if you cannot control your emotions, you will lose. The market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient. Fear and greed are the two emotions that drive the markets and ruin lives. When the market crashes, the average person panics and sells. They lock in their losses because they are afraid. The wealthy person sees a crash as a sale. They see a discount. They buy when there is blood in the streets. When the market is booming and everyone is talking about how easy it is to get rich, the average person gets greedy and buys at the top. The wealthy person starts to sell and take profits. It is a counterintuitive game. You have to do the opposite of what the herd is doing. This requires emotional discipline. It requires stoicism. You have to detach your self-worth from your net worth. You have to realize that money is just a tool, a magnifier. It makes you more of who you already are. If you are a generous person, money will help you give more. If you are an anxious person, money will just give you more things to be anxious about. One of the biggest lies we are told is that the only way to get rich is to exploit others. We see movies with evil billionaires, and we subconsciously link wealth with immorality. This is a poverty script. In a free market, you only get paid in proportion to the value you bring to the marketplace. If you want to make $1 million, you have to help 1 million people. You have to solve a problem. Jeff Bezos is rich because he solved the problem of convenience for billions of people. Elon Musk is rich because he is solving problems in energy and transportation. The size of your bank account is a reflection of the size of the problems you solve. So stop asking, how can I make money? And start asking, how can I add value? What problem can I solve? What skill can I master that the world needs? When you shift your focus from taking to giving, the money flows as a natural byproduct. This is the law of compensation. It is universal. We are living in the greatest era of opportunity in human history. The internet has leveled the playing field. 20 years ago, if you wanted to start a business, you needed a bank loan, a physical store, an inventory. Today, you can start a global business from your laptop with a Wi-Fi connection. You can reach millions of people through social media for free. The gatekeepers are gone. There's no one stopping you but yourself. We are seeing 18-year-olds creating 6-figure incomes because they learned a high-income skill like coding, copywriting, or digital marketing. The excuse of, I don't have the resources, is no longer valid. You have the resources. You have the sum of human knowledge in your pocket right now. The problem is not a lack of resources. It is a lack of resourcefulness. It is a lack of focus. We live in an attention economy. Your attention is being harvested by social media giants. Every minute you spend mindlessly scrolling is a minute you are not building your own empire. You are building theirs. You have to reclaim your focus. You have to go into monk mode. You have to be willing to sacrifice who you are for who you could become. Let's talk about the people around you. There is a concept called the crab bucket mentality. If you put one crab in a bucket, it can crawl out. If you put a bunch of crabs in a bucket, if one tries to crawl out, the others will pull it back down. When you decide to change your financial life, when you decide to stop drinking every weekend and start building a side hustle, when you decide to invest instead of spending, your old friends might get uncomfortable. They might mock you. They might say, you've changed. Good. You are supposed to change. Growth makes people who are stagnant feel insecure, and you have to be willing to walk alone for a while. You have to curate your circle. Find people who are playing the game at a higher level than you. If you are the smartest person in the room, you are in the wrong room. You need to be around people who challenge your thinking, who expose you to bigger ideas. This is why channels like Finance Vibe exist, to be your digital circle of influence, to remind you that there is a different way to live. Another critical component of financial freedom is multiple streams of income. The average millionaire has 7 streams of income. They have dividend income, rental income, business income, interest income, capital gains. They do not rely on one paycheck. If one stream dries up, they have 6 others flowing. You need to start building your own streams. It doesn't have to be massive at first. Maybe it is just an extra $500 a month from a side project. But that $500 is different from your salary. That is freedom money. That is money that came from your own equity, not just your labor. Once you taste that first bit of passive income, it changes you. You realize that you can detach your time from your money. You can make money while you sleep. And until you learn to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. That is a quote from Warren Buffett, and it is the absolute truth. We also need to address the concept of time preference. This is an economic term that describes how much you value the present versus the future. People with high time preference want everything now. They eat the marshmallow immediately. They spend their paycheck on Friday. People with low time preference are willing to wait. They are willing to sacrifice today for a better tomorrow. Every great empire, every great fortune was built on low time preference. It is about planting a tree today that you might not sit under for 10 years. It is about compounding. Einstein called compound interest the eighth wonder of the world. But compounding takes time. It starts slow. It feels like nothing is happening. You save and invest for a year, and you barely have anything to show for it. This is where most people quit. They don't understand the hockey stick curve. The results happen at the end. You have to trust the process. You have to fall in love with the boredom of consistency. Getting rich is not a thrilling event. It is a boring, repetitive process of doing the right things over and over again for a long period of time. As we look toward the future, the world is changing rapidly. We are moving into a digital, decentralized economy. Cryptocurrencies, blockchain, AI, these are not just buzzwords. They are the infrastructure of the next century. The old banking system is slow, expensive, and exclusive. The new system is fast, cheap, and open to everyone. You don't have to be an expert, but you cannot afford to be ignorant. Ignoring these changes is like ignoring the internet in the 1990s. You risk being left behind. Education is a continuous process. The diploma was just the beginning. In the 21st century, the illiterate will not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. You have to be a student of the game forever. Now, I want to ask you a serious question. What is your why? Why do you want to be wealthy? If it is just to have a Lambo, you will likely burn out. The motivation isn't strong enough. But if your why is to retire your parents, to provide the best education for your children, to support a cause you believe in, to have the freedom to travel and experience the world, that will drive you through the hard times. Money without a purpose is empty, but money with a purpose is powerful energy. You need to define your vision. Close your eyes and imagine your ideal life. What does it look like? Who are you with? What are you doing? Hold that image in your mind. That is your North Star. Every financial decision you make should be a step toward that vision. We have covered the traps of the system, the history of money, the mindset of the wealthy, and the path to freedom. But information alone is not power. Information is potential power. It only becomes power when you apply it. You can watch 100 videos on Finance Vibe, but if you don't execute, nothing changes. The gap between where you are and where you want to be is action. As we wrap up this deep dive, I want you to make a commitment to yourself. Not to me, and not to this channel, but to the person looking back at you in the mirror. Commit that you will no longer be a passive spectator in your own life. Commit that you will take control of your financial destiny. The system may be rigged, but that doesn't mean you can't win. You just have to learn the rules better than they do. You have the potential to build a life of abundance, freedom, and impact. It won't be easy, but it will be worth it. This journey is better when we travel together. We are building a community of like-minded individuals here at Finance Vibe who are all striving for more. So I want to hear from you. What is the one financial habit you're going to change starting today? Are you going to cut up a credit card, start a SIP, read a financial book? Let us know in the comments below. Your comment might inspire someone else to start their journey. And if you know someone, a friend, a brother, a colleague, who is stuck in the rat race and needs a wake-up call, share this video with them. Be the spark that changes their life. Thank you for investing your time with us. In a world of distractions, your attention is the most valuable currency you have. By spending it here, you have already proven that you are different. You are ready. Go out there, take action, build your wealth, and own your future. This is Finance Vibe, reminding you that the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. See you in the next video.